Honestly, with ISO, there's not that much to explain. It makes your images brighter or darker. But with that, there is a dark side. See what I did there? Dark side, exposure. Break. Welcome back. My name is Ryan and this is Clutch Creativity, and today we're talking about ISO and what that means for your pictures. So the ISO is a part of the exposure triangle, and the two other elements are the aperture and the shutter speed. If you don't know what those are, I have a playlist linked up and you can check those out. So the ISO controls how sensitive your sensor is to light. So the lower ISO numbers will make your images or your shots, this could be video or photos, will make them darker, and higher ISO numbers will make your shots brighter. However, like I hinted earlier, there's a downside to using too much ISO. You introduce grain, or what we call image noise. The reason why you get that image noise is because unlike the aperture and the shutter speed, the brightness that is introduced to your image is artificial. It's like fake light basically. One more disadvantage of using ISOs that are too high is that you lose vibrancy in your shots, and you also lose like the color details. So the general rule of thumb is to use the lowest ISO you need and try to keep it, again, nothing more than what you need. Let's bring it all together. Personally, when I build my shots, I set my ISO last because it has no stylistic value on the shot. So I ask myself these questions. My subject, is it moving? Is it moving slowly, or is it moving fast? If it's moving slowly or not moving at all, I can use a low shutter speed. If it's moving fast and I don't want blur, I can use a high shutter speed. If I want blur, then I can kind of play with that. And that's why I set my shutter. Then I ask myself about the aperture. So do I want to isolate my subject, or do I want to show my subject and my background clearly? Or is my subject so big in the frame that it's starting to go out of focus? Once I set my aperture to accommodate what my subject needs to look like, then I go to the last part, which is the ISO, and then I fill in the rest. Sometimes your ISO is getting too high and your images are still too dark. Here are some questions I would ask. Can I lower my shutter speed without it, too much blur? Can I open up my aperture some more if depth of field is not really important? And then, of course, the most important thing you should do, and I think is probably going to be giving you better shots anyway, is to consider adding more light, and that could be a flash, or it could be continuous light like what I'm using right now to light my videos. Like I said, the basic rule of thumb is this: keep your ISO values as low as possible and keep your thumbs up on videos that give you value. And that's it. Exposure triangle is complete. With lots of practice, you'll be able to nail these things down and it'll become second nature to you. If you miss any of the other videos in the series, check them out. I'll link them up. And in the meantime, stay courageous, friends. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.